6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We come from poverty, man, we ain't have a thing.
We come from poverty, man, we ain't have a thing.
Alright. Let's do this. So look, we're in a store and we finally got a shopping pay for a home improvement store. Now the scary thing is I did this with a compact car and 3 kids. So they can't want too much, otherwise I ain't gonna be able to fit it inside the car. But I wanted to have a conversation with you guys real quick. Like, for the people like me trying to figure it out, right? On this journey, you can have one or two things happen. You can fall victim to the way that life shakes out, right? You can start off ambitious and fall victim to the way that life plays out. So as you're navigating your way through life, you take jobs and you lose jobs and you have jobs, and eventually you start to recognize a ceiling, both with your earning potential, with where you could go, the things you can accomplish, the person you can become. And instead of fighting against that ceiling to raise it a little bit, you settle. You decide, oh, okay, well, this is the ceiling and I settle with it. And those are often the people that, when you come across them in society, like you might be the person listening to this and you might not know that when a person come across you, when a person come to your job and they interact with you, oftentimes you wear your emotions so thick on your sleeve, it becomes your sweater. So you know what I'm saying? Your hours got cut, now you got attitude. If things ain't work out, you got an attitude. So you're treating the people in society bad because your life ain't necessarily work out the way that, you felt like it should. Or there's another person that continues to fight, and then crafts a lane. And then those are ultimately the people who, the other person ends up working for. Unfortunately, that's the way that it shakes out. But like, I don't know, man. I'm doing the thing, right? I'm getting the boxes. Like, the work ain't necessarily that hard. Like, look, you see that guy just passed? Bro, he looked like 60 plus. You know what I'm saying? And he got to show people where to find the tape. Like, that's crazy. So in the grand scheme of things, right, the work I'm doing isn't that difficult. And I have the ability. So, I worked for a long time and while my kids were smaller, and I didn't have the ability to see them all the time and, be around. So I have the ability to be with them and do the thing, but it doesn't pay well. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of scanning, and this box right here, it just wouldn't scan. It popped up as something else. I had to flip it around, turn it sideways, and scan it again. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't use my natural talents, gifts, and abilities to the fullest extent that they could be used, right? And because you're not solving high-level problems, you do not get high-level pay, and you have to customize your ambition. I don't have the ability to do that. I have high-level ambition, so then that means I have to solve high-level problems, so then my blessings and my responsibilities are of a higher level. Make sense? So I want to just be another person that lets you know that you may feel, because life will make you feel wrong, crazy, etc. for wanting, aspiring, trying to achieve more than what people have done around you, more than people have done in the past. You know what I'm saying? More than your family lineage would say. But it's okay to be that first person that goes after it. You're ultimately at anything the safest thing, right, that you do causes the long-term failure in the sense that you don't reach your ultimate goals, dreams, beliefs, hopes, aspirations, etc. But when you decide to take the risk, it's going to be failure after failure after failure, and you're going to have to stack them on top of one another. You're going to have to make the failures, quantify, multiply, duplify, you know the stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then use the failures as the stairs that you take to success. It's not going to be like, you know what I'm saying? You go do the thing and it's going to be successful. It's going to be beautiful. Everybody's going to be happy. No. There's going to be some crashes, some burns, some bruises. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about you going to get bloody on that. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly for sure. But at the same time, what would you much rather do? Like, what's the alternative, right? Because for me, the alternative looks like being, one of these two people. Like, I would much rather be the person coming to the store to ask this gentleman for help finding the thing, because even with it taking a long time, right? We were bouncing around, we were up and down the aisles, we couldn't find some stuff, and I even had to contact the customer. And then once I actually got to the customer, right, it was a whole nother set of difficulties getting all of these big old boxes from in my trunk first, then from my trunk to their door, and then they had a gate. And then they lived on the bottom floor of a 3-story apartment. Like, it was difficult, but the whole thing was done in an hour. So I would much rather have the difficulty at a higher, shorter term than have it like be just mellow difficulty, but then have to be that guy that I just was asking for help, because my man got to stay there for 6, 7, 8, 9 hours every day. And he knows, what he's going to come into. He knows what to expect. So there's not a lot of, what's the word? I can't necessarily remember the word that I'm thinking of, but like excitement, adventure, and differentness about your path, right? So if you know what to expect, and you know what you're going to be given, and you know the ceiling, and you play to it, there's something inside of you that dies. And I think the version of people, when we're having negative or difficult or challenging experiences in society, that's the version of people that's no longer alive. They don't got that light in the eye. So then they're like, if this is all my life is going to be, the least you could do is know what you want when you pull up to this McDonald's window. That's the least you could do, right? And that's the tough part, right? That's the challenge as you're trying and seeking to live a life of adventure, advancement, and purpose for real. Because you have a purpose. You're not wrong. Those things that you want, that thing that you desire, you are not wrong for desiring that thing. Although it doesn't look possible, although it doesn't look like you can achieve it, although it doesn't seem that you, somebody that come from where you come from, should want something that big, you have a reason for having that desire deep in your core. And it's because that you're supposed to fulfill a prophecy that is way greater than you. You're supposed to impact people at a much higher rate than what you would be if you settled. But you cannot take the difficulties, the failures, the adversity, the lack of support as a sign that it wasn't meant to happen or it's not for you. You're not wrong for wanting more out of life. Because damn it, if you are, then we're wrong together. And with that being said, man, I appreciate you guys watching the video, listening. If you made it this far, like, share, subscribe, all of the YouTube stuff that you're supposed to do on the YouTube. We're going to continue advancing. We're going to continue pushing, and we're going to continue doing our best each and every day, every moment. Even though we falter and we fall, we're going to dust ourselves off. We're going to keep our chin up. We're going to keep our chest out. We ain't going to turn down for 1 second, 1 minute. You know what I'm saying? We ain't going to do none of that. You deserve it, and you on your way to it. I promise.